So my name is Esther Mujawayo-Keiner. I'm 33 years old now, and I'm working here since 20 years, 21. I work as a psychotherapist, and I work with traumatized people, especially from Africa. Because I don't work with translator. I work directly in French, in English, or Kinyarwanda. I come out Rwanda. Or the Kirundi from Burundi is also similar. So we understand each other. So I can work with the people from the different countries they come here as asylum seekers, and they are very traumatized. Those who come to us, they are very traumatized from what happened at home, from what happened while they are running away, they are fleeing, and what happened here in Germany as well. Because many things safety, I'm now in Germany, everything is going to be all right, and it is not at all. But we are a team psychosocial. That is very important. There is a team of psychotherapeut, but there is also a team of the social pedagogin, like Sabine, the colleague. Eva is psychotherapeut, Sabine is a social pedagogin, because all the issues of stay, issues of accommodation, schools, all that, it is very, very important that we take the person as a whole. Yeah, so this is what I'm doing. I got remarried. I married my first husband was killed during the genocide in Rwanda. So later I met my actual husband. And so I came with my 3 girls, my 3 daughters. And then in Rwanda I was working as a psychotherapist as well in our Widows Association, AVEGA, where I was working with traumatized widows, or also a lot of orphans. Yeah. So when I came here, my husband was pastor in Niederrhein, in Neukirchen-Flühen. So at the end of the event, but I started trying to learn the language, and I was really desperate that I would never be able to. And then I found out, a friend told me, but there is a center in Düsseldorf, and they are doing what you were doing in Rwanda. Why don't you approach them? Then I approached them, then it was okay. I started without speaking the language.
You already mentioned AVEGA, which you co-founded in Rwanda.
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about
excuse me.
AVEGA's work and what you were doing.
Yeah. So AVEGA is an abbreviation which stands for Association des Veuves du Génocide d'Avril. So the genocide started 7th of April, and for 3 months we were just in hiding. It was just killing. And then 4th of July, when everything was over, everybody was thinking, I'm the only one who survived. You couldn't believe that there's somebody else. Then you will meet a friend who had already also survived, and you meet another one, and you meet another one, and start telling, and the stories were always worse and worse and worse. But we realized also that it was helpful to get it out, without knowing that it is therapeutic and without knowing that it is trauma. We were thinking we are just crazy. It was very informal. We didn't think that we are going to make a big organization like it is now. But so we started slowly, and in the end it became really a formal organization where we realized that it is therapeutic to have another family again, because you were there, your husband has been killed, your parents has been killed, your brothers, his sisters, you have no family anymore. So how can you go ahead without belonging to somewhere? So we needed really to have somewhere where we belong. We needed to have this family, and it helped us a lot. So from the crazy women that we were, because we were really thinking we are crazy. You were looking at your reactions and how you are doing things, and you don't recognize yourself. You say, no, this is not the woman I used to be. I was a sociologist, I have my master in sociology, and here I am, and when I cook for the children, I will forget that I have already put salt, and I put it 3 times, and nobody cannot eat. Or then another friend said, I went out and I didn't recognize, I couldn't find back my way at home. Before you were very clear, so what is going on? Or you realize when you come out, people are looking at you a bit funny, but it is because you put your dress up and down. And so things like that, or getting very aggressive and making things we were not making before. And this is why we were saying we were afraid of being crazy. But it helps to find out that you are not the only crazy, there are others who are also crazy as you, or even more. But then this is when we realize also that, no, it is not us who realized. It was a psychiater, a British psychiater, who came to us and who told us, women, you are not crazy. What happened to you was crazy. What happened was crazy. You are not crazy. How you are reacting, the abnormal you think is not normal, is the really normal for where you come from. So this the whole theory of traumata, the symptoms and everything. So we started really doing it, and it was helpful. But we also have not only to work on our traumata, we have to work on everything. There was no house anymore, so we started trying to get funds so that we can build for those who have no home anymore, because the homes were also destroyed. We started doing everything. I remember in the NGOs they ask you to be specific, and we could not be specific. We needed everything. So we also have to deal a lot with the health. Many people were left for dead in the bodies. They were cut and left for dead in the bodies. So this was really one of the big project was the health, physical health, but also, as I said in the beginning, the psychological health. But then the big challenge was really the Vergewaltigung, raping, because the rape was systematic. So for the 3 months when they were killing, they were also raping the women. From 8 years, very, very small girls, 8 years, bis to the old woman of 70 or more. And then we realized slowly that people were dying. They were dying of AIDS. They have been infiziert. And we didn't have the medication. We didn't have the money for the medication. The medication were there. The antiretroviral were already on the market there, but we couldn't get them. And then we realized that, and we have to fight also for the justice. So we were in all the domains. We were doing everything. Yeah, this is Avega. And so from the 50 founders, members, now we are over 25,000. We are everywhere in Rwanda. And it really helped us to be together. And we were very stubborn also. We were using it as because being a widow is very bad. So sometimes there is even a proverb like you bring what is the opposite of luck? Pech. Bad luck, yeah, bad luck. You bring bad luck. You bring bad luck. So we used to say, okay, here we go, we are 10 bad luck. So you have to receive us, and we say if we have to deal with bureaucracy or with authorities and things like that. So, and when somebody says, I come from Avega, they know that they better answer your question, because if not, they will have more women and it will be bad for them. This was, yeah. So, what else? That is Avega. And of course, we have to do income generating project, trying to get a living again. And actually, it really helped, because we have no husband, we have no father, we have no brother, so there is no man to send out to do what they were doing. So we went out and we did. And then slowly, I think really among things which helped the Rwandan society to put the women now in the first thing is out from our experience, because we were everywhere, we were doing everything. We were like building, going on the building. Usually you don't do that if you are a woman. Or the other thing, like milking, to make milk, to take the milk from the cow. Yeah, usually women don't do that. And I remember in one meeting, women were telling about the challenges. And one woman told us, actually, now we milk our cows. And why? Because she asked the neighbor to milk her cow. And the neighbor made it once, 2 times, and the third time he said he's not going to milk the cow only, you too. So meaning he wants to sleep with you. And the women said, what? And they said, women, stop. Milk the cow yourself. The problem of milking the cow, why they say women cannot milk, it is because we dress, we have dress or skirt. So if you milk, you can be naked. So your privacy can be seen. So they say there is a solution. Put trousers. So we start putting trousers under your skirt, and you milk your cow, and you go up to the building site. So what? So we have been challenging, and in the end, and slowly it came in the mentality. Yeah. We helped a lot the society. Yeah.
Sounds like being in solidarity among the widows and everyone helped a lot to struggle with the aftermath of the genocide. Do you think that, what was it like in terms of international solidarity? Can you talk a little bit about that?
It was not so... first of all, we were so angry on the international because there's something which is really terrible. The genocide in Rwanda was known. They knew it was happening. They could prevent it. They were there. The UN was already there. So I think 2,500 or around 3,000 soldiers. But when 10 Belgians were killed, they decided to leave. And they really abandoned. There is one site, one school where people came because the UN soldiers were there. And outside the school, there were killers. And the day the Belgians went out, ran away, the killers came in and they killed everybody. So there is a lot of shame and guilty, by the way. So after the genocide, there was a lot of NGOs coming in, but many doing more fundraising than really action. But they were still. And at least they recognized that the genocide was a genocide. They created this famous international tribunal in Arusha. And even though it was not really, it was very costly, very expensive for very few people. So this is why many people criticize it. But for me, I always say, at least it is a very strong symbol. Yeah, at least now to kill a Tutsi is a criminal act. Before it was not. They've been killing since 1959. So now it was really, at least in 1994, few people have been brought to the justice. Yeah. But what I wanted to say with the international community abandoning us, this has been also a lesson for Rwanda. Then you count on yourself first, and you can count on the others after. They didn't. They don't care. And they were cynical. There were some. I think this was Mitterrand, the French president, who said, by those people, it is very normal. So to take a machete, to say they are savages, it is not important. And that your lives don't matter. Doesn't matter, only for you. So you have to learn to protect yourself. You have to learn. And this is among the things which pushed Rwanda also to try to be the best now. To try to go ahead, to try to do, yeah. And talking of the justice, the people who committed the genocide, or those who organized the brain of the genocide, many were very intellectual. Many were doctors, professors, and things like that. They studied here. They studied in Germany, in France, in Belgium, and they were the first to run away and to be very welcome here. So whenever we have tried to get to catch people who are here, it was not easy. Belgium is a little bit better, but like France, we have been trying hard. No way. Here in Germany, sometimes we catch some people. I was reading how Fritz Bauer was doing, so it is interesting. Like here in Germany, there was how do you call them? Commissaire. There was somebody in the justice here who was really cooperating with the French, the others, the Hollander, to catch the genocidaire. And he came once here in my office and he told me, somebody told him that I'm trying to find out where they are hiding. So he came to me and he told me, if you know anybody, let us know. So I remember one day there was a young boy, a young survivor in Belgium, and he went to my friends from Avega who are also now in Belgium, and he told them, I know that you have a friend in Germany, and the man who killed my father, his father was burnt alive in 90, before the genocide, and when the war started in 90, and it was the part where the RPF entered. So the burgomaster, the mayor of the city there, he took all the Tutsis, intellectuals, the professors, teachers, and I think his father was a teacher, and they put them in a hole and they burned them alive. So the child knew the story, and later he knew that the man is here in Germany. Then I have the phone of the commissaire, so I called him and I told him I have found one. No, and they did.
So did he end up in court?
He's in prison now. So it was really Commissar Zon. I think his name was Zon. He was fantastic. And I told him what I know. I said, I don't know the man, but this is the story, and those are what happened. This is what happened. And he told me, no, you don't have to know more. It is our job to look for. So they really did. They came to me here. They went to Belgium. They went to Rwanda. They collect all the informations, and they arrested him. And there was the process. No, what is in English? The trial. There was a trial in Frankfurt or Stuttgart. I don't remember. One of those two. And I said clearly, I don't know him, because in the court I thought he's a lawyer. He was so well dressed, and he studied here. He made his diploma, engineer, agronome, and whatever. And this is really what is terrible, because you have people like him who knew very well what they are doing, and they manipulated. The propaganda was so much. For the I want to say the normal people, for the small people, there is no small killer. But still, I think the responsibilities are different. So when you take people and you tell them those ones, they are not really Rwandese, they come from Ethiopia. This was a professor in university who made once a speech near a river, Nyabarongo. And he told the people that the Tutsis are from Ethiopia. They can go back home by the shortest way. And the shortest way is to send them in the river, and they go to the Nile. Took his source in our place in that river. So that river goes and go to the Nile. Then they will go quickly back home. They are foreigners. They are dangerous. If you don't kill them, they kill you. They are manipulating you. They use really sometimes you have the same stigma as here, as what was said here. And for somebody simple peasant there, if you manipulate his mind, and the radio was saying that, and it was everywhere. So how could you resist? And this is another big theme. Who resisted? Who used his mind to think, no, what you say is not correct, I refuse it. God dank, there are some people who did, but they were not so many. And it was really individuals. Some died with those they were protecting when they were refusing, saying they are human like us, we have been living together. How do you say now they are enemies? And can a baby be enemy? Can an old woman be dangerous? So who do you want to tell that this is my enemy? But unfortunately there were not many, and unfortunately it was individual. If the church, for example, have stand up and said that, I think in the Catholic Church they have what they call, what is it in English? That they can cut your. When you have been sinful, they can stop giving you sacraments, things like that. So they are afraid of that. So if anyone has said that, they could have stopped something. So you have responsibilities at all levels. Or the churches, the famous international community, when you say goodbye, you just tell them, go ahead. You give them the green card. The man who was Dallaire, the man who was the commander of the UN, he got sick. He got very, very traumatized when he came back, because he told them, please send me more troops. We can do something. And rather than sending him more troops, they took even those who were already on the ground. No, it is. I wanted to say this was a genocide that you could prevent, that you could stop when it has started, but you didn't prevent, you didn't stop, and now you change the story, you turn up. For the moment, there is a very story going around. One woman who is director of university in Edinburgh, Congolese, who wrote that anyway it is Kagame who committed the genocide. She twisted the thing, and now there's a lot of talking about it because of. I think. Okay, we were the victims of this genocide, but it went beyond. It went beyond Rwanda. When the army genocidaire, they took with them the whole population, going to Congo, telling them, if you stay, the RPF is going to kill you. Probably they could have done that, and so, but not the millions of people they took with them in Congo, with the arms and everything. And this is the story which is going on still in the neighboring country. So one could have stopped that as well, but the French went on to help the génocidaire armée. There is a lot of responsibilities. For the French, it is very clear what they did, but for the others, there is a lot of what they didn't, and they should have done it. And the American, they refused. There was they refused to name it genocide, because if you name it genocide, you are obliged to intervene. And they refused to name that genocide in Rwanda, because the American didn't want to go back like it was in Somalia or whatever. Yeah.
You already talked about resistance and the importance of resistance, and in your book, I read it. you also witnessed the discrimination against the Tutsi even before the genocide, and there in your book you say that also small acts like reading books and talking about things amongst each other is in your understanding resistance. So maybe you could talk a little bit more about what you understand as resistance and the importance of it.
Yeah, and this is the time they throw us away from school. So there is one in my CV, in my Lebenslauf. There's 1 year that I have nothing. Oh, I have to write that I was behind the cows. Because this was 73, 72, 73. All the Tutsis were thrown away from schools, from jobs, and my cousin, who was my friend who will be later my husband, we were both sent out of the school, and we were taking care of the cows. We have to take the cows in the field, and we said no. We are not only going to take care of the cows. Please keep reading. Please keep speaking French. You will. It was in our way, in the way of a child, to say, no, I show you that I'm still learning, even though you get me out of the official learning process, which is school. How can I trust them despite that? How can I continue to go ahead? And I think that is also what in the family, for me, it is very important. For my daughters, they are very, very engaged. They are all over, they have to pay attention sometimes. But I told them, no, don't let any injustice go. Because today it is just in the playground, it is in the school, Schulhof. But tomorrow it will be more. Because this one has been mobbed, because she's too dark, she's too thick, she's too maga, she's too... We can all be too something for somebody else. So to know that, don't accept that, because when you accept it for the other one day it will be to you. And even if you are not, I'm happy that you are not the one doing it. Please don't commit that, but also don't observe. How do you say that? Those who are looking but without acting, or those who look away and let it go because it's not me. Yeah, and also to have this judgment, this personal judgment, to say, am I okay with that? Is it because the authority is telling me that I have to obey? This is another situation. How and when do you disobey and you don't let everything go? Yeah. So I think it is really this what they call, I think, civil courage in German. Yeah, this civil courage. It is really important in schools, in families. It is important to have it in order to prevent. Because it is okay, when you don't do that, then the thing happened, then the people are damaged, then you have to do the therapy, then you have to reconstruct again. When I look now at Ukraine, everything destroyed like that, from day one to day two. And you just think human beings, there is... It is not crazy. I wanted to say there is something crazy. It is not crazy, because they are not crazy people who are doing that. They know what they are doing. But how can we stop them without violence? I really try to train my children and myself. How do you refrain from the violence? Sometimes you really want to be violent. Sometimes when you hear the stories we hear all along here, I have a friend, sorry for the men, we say that we are going to cut the penis over those men who are raping the women when you see how they are damaged, how they are. Oh, yeah.
What do you think it is that gives people and gives you the strength to carry on, to resist, even though there's so many challenges and difficulties in doing so? What gives one the strength to fight for human rights?
I think for me, I was really lucky that I got it from my family. I was lucky to have such strong father and mother. And I think because we suffered too. So I was born in 58. And 59, already they were burning. They burnt our house. They killed all the cows. And we have to run and hide. Then 63, we come back when it was finished. They call it the bad wind. And when the bad wind was over, we come back, we build again, we plant again, we have cows again, and life starts to be okay. And 63, they come again. Our neighbors, people we know. And there is no punishment. They are not punished at all. So this impunity is another issue. Stop the impunity. Then 73, it was always escalating. 73, it is also out of the schools, out of jobs. Officially, lists were made. And then 94 to finish everybody. And I think all those times, I remember in 73, I think I put it in the book. This was my small heroic act. I was a teenager. And I saw somebody who was wearing my father's shoes. Because I used to clean them. I knew the other. And I stopped him and I said, you give me the shoes, my father's shoes. And I went back very proud that my dad is going to be happy. And he told me, Esther, never again. Don't do that. First, it is dangerous. He could be dangerous with you. But second, he said, he's the poor one. Am I barefoot? I don't have another shoe. Those who took our belongings and everything, the sorghum, the beans, all our harvest. He said, are we hungry now? We are not harvesting again. Does he still have it? It has finished. The one who burnt our house, did he get a better one? No, we have started again. So he was telling us really, I will never forget that. And this helped me also when I meet racist people. I think at my dad thinking, oh, the poor one. And it helps to think at this person as the poor one. Why is he aggressing me when he doesn't know me? So there is something missing in him. I don't want to excuse them, but from time to time it really helps to see why one can do that. It's because he's not happy with himself. And then Dad used to tell us, you see, we have again beans, we have again tish, we have again bed. They can take that, we will get it back. But if they take you inside, you are lost. So it was this philosophy of my father and my mother. Don't let anybody take your inside, because then you are dead. This is the worst. But the things, the belongings, you can always make them again. And this is what I'm seeing. So I think because of how I grow up and with my family story, and what was really crazy is that in all that, we were always happy. So they can make it. They are the poor ones. We are okay. And we start again. So I think, you will not take my inside. This is what I'm going to protect. And I know that this is the most strong, the most valuable. So don't take my gold and my things. Take the rest ones. And so from the family, if you are lucky and you grow up with this enough roots, you see, when you have enough roots, when the tree is deep in the earth, then the wind can do. You will still stand. You will berg, how do you call it? But you will stand up again. Things are changing. And I think also later the solidarity of the others. You cannot do alone. You have to be with others. You have to have a group. You have to have like Avega, like you have people who believe the same with you, and you come together, because then you can change. I don't think that alone you cannot do a lot, but it has to start within yourself, and then transmit it to your posterity, to your children. Before there was with my father there was a lot of coming from the faith, the Christianity, but for me in '94 I lost it. I have to struggle also with God a lot. But the spirituality is also something which helps. It helps at least to know that you are so small. You are what? You are just a small thing. So why do you make you so big? The universe is bigger than you, than me. And we can go, we can pass, we can die. It will still be there. So this thing also to realize that, there's a solidarity, but also this is small towards a bigger thing. I think spirituality helps a lot, regardless what you believe in. To decide, now I'm going to be alive, it is really a decision you have to take. It is, if they didn't kill you, if your body is there, but you are dead inside, you are not valuing the life, you are not offering to the others, you are not alive. I used to say alive, so my poor English. Yeah, you can be alive in your. I see your body, I see you walk, but there is nothing inside. So this is what I mean by being alive. And also to give. I think when you have been so close to the death, because we nearly died. You saw it, I saw it. The other next to me died, and I didn't. So for me, I think really there is a meaning to that. There is a reason why I survived. And I think it is really up to us to look for the meaning of our survival. I always say, when I say that I'm so lucky, the people think I'm crazy. But I was really lucky. I survived. There is not a single machete on my body. When my other friends has been so badly wounded, they didn't rape me. When many others have been raped and infected with AIDS, I survived with my 3 kids. I have many friends who survived without children. I was on the 7th of April. We made a commemoration in Hanover, and I went with one of my friends. They killed her and her children together, but she survived with one boy, and the 3 others died. And she has such injuries. We are very cynical. We are joking. She's joking because her fingers are so. And there is some cooking we make, some pastries we make, and she cannot make them because her fingers are so cramped because of all the cuttings. And so she has a lot of in her body, which I don't have. And but I think also this is not really from me. I have to quote my friend, another friend called Josephine. She's really a fantastic woman. We were together in secondary school, and then this 73, when they chased us from school, she was older than us, and she was very beautiful. So when they chased us from school, she married very quickly because she was orphaned already from the 59 or 63. So she married very earlier, and she got her children very earlier. So at the moment of the genocide, she was with 6 kids, a husband, prosperity, everything was okay. And they killed all her children, they killed her husband. She was killed also with them. She came out of the bodies. So after the genocide, she took in all the children who survived with her. Not her own, but the children who didn't die like she didn't die. And she was taking care of them, but she didn't have any more teeth. The feet were wounded, there was wound on the head. So she was trying to recover. And she came to see me. I was working for Oxfam, so I went back to my job. I was having a job, I was having a house, I was having my children and everything. And when she came, she found me so angry, and I was really, shouting, And she looked at me and she said, Esther, what are you playing? Which game are you playing? She has a very strong faith as well. And she told me, do you know that you are playing the game of the devil? And I say, what? She said, the devil, he gave the machete to the Hutu, they killed. But they didn't succeed. He will not succeed because you survived and I survived. But now, you survived, but you are not even happy that you survived. Look at me. Look at my wound on the head. Why don't you look at you and think, oh, great, I don't have any machete. Why don't you, I'm coming to you to ask you money for the children. They need food. and you are working, you give money. Then I gave, and she said, be happy, you have a job. You can feed your children and feed the other ones. Did you think about that? Then she told me, and she said, if you want to stand up, you have to count what remains. So you still have your health, you still have your job, you still have your children, you still have your home, you still have, then you stand up. But if you start only saying, those Hutu, they killed my husband, they killed my mother, they killed my sister, they killed my nephew, which is true. I'm not inventing. You are not inventing. But this is bringing you down, down, down. So think about it, but don't forget to think about the one pulling you up. Yeah, pulling you up. No, this is Josephine. I think it is on the cover of the Stephanie. Auf der Suche nach Stephanie. You have ein Leben mehr. No. The other one is Auf der Suche nach Stephanie. And I think the cover of the book is the story that Josephine told me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she was a bit the one who said, what is the purpose of surviving if it is for dying slowly inside yourself? And this is actually what we try to do, what I try to do with my clients here is they are survivor of something, and how to make a life out of it, how to make, the young boy who was here, he was now laughing of all the stories of the time. And now he's senior accountant, he's married, he's happy, it is possible. Yeah, this is why I'm doing this job, because I know that it works. Yeah.
It's very great and very important as well. Earlier you already said that also Fritz Bauer was trying to bring a lot of the perpetrators of the Nazis in front of court and put them to trial. Mm-hmm. And that you're trying to do the same with the perpetrators of the Rwandan genocide. Mm-hmm. And for Fritz Bauer, he had a lot of criticism that many of the perpetrators were only convicted for abetment, for Beihilfe. And not
for what?
Abetment, Beihilfe. So they're not the main...
the main perpetrator, yeah.
Complicity, not the main
okay.
And I read that you were also a witness in a trial where this happened, where a perpetrator was convicted for abetment and not for being an actual perpetrator.
Yeah.
It was overturned, I think. So maybe you can talk about what was it like to be a witness in a trial?
It is terrible. It is really hard. There are two things, like the trial in Stuttgart with this man who burnt alive more than 20 people. Of course, the defense is there to defend you. But they made me kaput. When I came out of it, I have to go to the psychologist of the court. I couldn't take my train because they tried to get you, to make you say something, and they distort what you say so that they can... and you look at them, and you know that what you are saying is true, and... So I really, the big justice, sometimes in Avega, I was not the one for the justice. This was Chantal. For me, I was more on the social, because I didn't believe that there is a justice possible. I remember also with the women who have been raped, we encouraged them, and we were really very solidarity. We said we have to come out and speak out what happened. We have to try to get the medication, because the people who are in the tribunal in Arusha, who have AIDS, who have infected the women, they were getting the antiretroviral. And we are not getting them for our own sisters. So we encourage them to go and to speak out and to be witness in the court. And I remember one day we said we are going to stop coming anymore. Because one woman who was raped and infected with AIDS, she was testifying, and then the lawyer for the defense, very cynical, he asked, I got you well. You said that they cut the water where you were hiding at the school or church, I don't remember which. They cut water. This was very common that they stop the water so that you don't have water. And she said, yes, they cut water for 1 week, for 2. And she said, I think it was 2 weeks. So you didn't have water for 2 weeks, no water, no. So you could not take a shower. I said, of course not, we couldn't take a shower. If we were lucky, we have water to drink. Then he said, so you mean that it was 2 weeks you have not, you didn't shower, you didn't take a shower, you were smelling bad, and you say that this man raped you. The woman, she couldn't realize how he's aggressing her, like he's abusing her with that, and she just lost her mind. Because I have no water, because I'm smelling, so he cannot rape me. So there was really so small empathy for the witness and who were testifying, and you were thinking, what is the point of making it? Or the gachacha. I was in the gachacha in the court, the popular tribunal in our place. And again, it is so hard because the way they are talking of how they did. I remember one of the gachacha is where they killed my sister and her children. So, first of all, they lied to us. We were just asking where are the bodies so that we can bury them. And they were lying. We were opening digging this and not finding. And finally, one man who has been already in prison for years came out of the prison. And during his prison time, he became very converted Christian and very brave. Then he came to us, he told us, I heard that you are looking, I'm really sorry, I'm the one who killed your sister. And I hear that you are looking for the bodies. So this is at least what I can show you. And then he asked his colleague in the trial, he said, you who have not been in prison, why you didn't tell them? Why you didn't tell them where is the place? And the other one said, why we are not there? And he said, excuse me, your sister and this and the husband of this one and this, they were not for me. They were not my people to kill. They were yours. It was your job. But you asked us to come to help because you couldn't kill all of them without our help. We came to help. And the other one starts laughing. And I remember in the court asking him, can you shut up your mouth? So it is really, how can I say it? It is surrealist. You just wonder, are we talking about our people? Are we having the same thing? And the way they are talking about it is really, like I said, with impunity. You kill a snake, you have killed a snake, you didn't kill a person. And this is what makes it so easy. And but to hear that now in the court, to hear how people are talking about it, you are really shocked. So this is why for me, I went for this gachacha in order to find out the bodies of my sister and to be able to bury them. But it asks a lot of strength. So sometimes, this is why I say I leave it to Chantal and I take the social one. I say, let me build myself. This is the best revenge. If the person can stand up, like Josephine said, if they can stand up and have a good life. But it is, no, it is terrible. Like the young one who have been trying, and now 28 years after, he still wants to finish it. So, yeah. I think the difference of the genocide and the war, I don't know. The fact that they are really looking for you because of you, not because of anything. It is not, if the bombs comes, it is not nice, but it comes for everybody. It will, if this house is bombed, we will all go. But if they come for the black, they will take me, not you. And if they came for the man, they take you, not us. And if they come for the women, they will take us and not you. So these specific what you are made me I don't like who you are and what you are, so I will finish you. And I think this, when you don't pay attention, this idea can really kill you or make you crazy. And actually, you have children who survived because they were so innocent. They think to be Tutsi is a crime. And they said, we will not make it again. So what our parents did, we will not make it. And the killers, they laugh, they tell the children, go. I don't remember why I went to that. You were asking about the justice and the being witnessing.
You said you didn't believe in justice. Did that change? So do you believe in justice now?
No, I do believe in it, but I don't invest too much because I'm deceived. No. I think it is really important to say, to mark it and say, it is a crime to kill a Tutsi. This is why you are brought to justice. Yeah, and we have, I really support people who are doing it. There is a couple in France. You have to meet them. Alain et Dafroze. Oh yeah, how they call them in France. There's one known, very one known, somebody who has been chasing the Nazi in France. So they call them this name. Karsfeld, yeah. This is a couple of Rwandese women whose family was completely erased, and his husband is a French. And they are really organizing and searching, and last time I have to meet her to do some supervision for her, because she's going to get testimonies in Rwanda. She's going in prison, hearing people. When there is a case in France, they go in Rwanda to find out what happened exactly. But she told me last time she was very, very tired and bad because of hearing this inhumanity, what people are telling, how they did and how that yeah.
Maybe there's a quote by Fritz Bauer who said that nothing is in the past, everything is in the present, and thus can become the future again. And you said something very similar, I think, in your book, where you say that there is no never again. Never again.
Yeah.
Explain what you meant.
I think it is a bit naive to think that's never again, because what made it is not gone. Unless this is why I'm thinking that resisting is really, really important. If not, it happened again. But even with resisting, we are not enough, and there's not enough energy, enough political will, enough this, and we see that it is happening again and happening again. And this is a fear. This is very political, what I wanted to say. I was happy, I don't like Macron either, but I was happy that Macron win and not Marine Le Pen. This will be a catastrophe. This will be a catastrophe. And it is happening again. So if people are not denouncing, if people are not standing up and saying stop, it is happening, it is coming, it happened. Who can stop Putin now? Who can stop him from, you bomb, what? It is not empty buildings, there are people inside.
So how do you think, what are your wishes for the future? Well, how do you think we can be better in remembering what happened in Rwanda and supporting people who want to speak out? Yeah.
No, we have to. Because it depends on days. There are days where I'm optimistic, and there are days where I'm pessimistic. There are days where I think it is always the same, and nobody is learning from the history. But on the other hand, I think no, there are some small improvements. No, we have to keep telling, keep saying. And I see now, I'm really, I used to go all around during the commemorations, but now I'm getting old. But I'm really happy because there are young people who are really strong, who are doing, who are writing, who are protesting. Yeah. And in all communities. So don't think that this happened to to the Tutsi in Rwanda, this happened to the Jews here, this happened to Armenians or Kosovo, or whatever. It can happen everywhere. If this, how do you call it, safeguard. You see what is safeguard? For the balcony. At the balcony, if there is no safeguard, you fall down. But because there is a safeguard and a strong safeguard, so where are the safeguards? Who is building them? Who is doing it? Who is keeping quiet? The silence is so terrible. When you see things happening and you keep silent, but talking is also dangerous. So you have to make your decision. And I'm really, really proud of people who have been there. There's one Catholic sister in Gisenyi, Felicity. She was hiding people and she was trying to help them cross the border and go to Congo. And one night, somebody, this is the human being, somebody betrayed them. Like the one who betrayed us where we were hiding, somebody who betrayed. So when the car was full and she was going to pass, somebody betrayed them and they took all of them to kill them. And she was a Hutu, she has a brother who is really high ranking. So they didn't want to kill her, she was a Hutu. So they tell her, go beside, we take the Tutsi. And she said, no, you don't take my people. If you take them, you take all of us. So they take her with. But they were afraid of his colonel brother, so they told her, no, they allowed her to talk to his brother. They called his brother. And they told him, your sister is crazy, she wants to continue with the people. And the brother told her, stop going with them, And she said, no, brother, I cannot do that. They are just Tutsi, and they were under my protection. They shall not kill them. And if they kill them, they kill me too. And the brother told her, I can't do anything for you if you don't want to. And she said, I'm not asking you to do something for me. I'm asking you to do something for us. And if you cannot do something for us, then leave it. And give my greetings to our mom. This was her last word. And she was killed with the people. So my dream is a little bit, if she can do that, I hope I can react that. I hope you can react like that. I hope. So I think it is very important to know that people like Felicité, they exist. They can die or they can live. There's another young, she's fantastic, Grace. She's Hutu. So she was running to Congo with her grandma. I think I put it in the book, or I know the story after. So they passed a woman who had been killed, but the baby was still alive and taking the milk from the dead body. And the small Grace was 13 or 14. She told her grandma, hey, grandma, the baby is still alive. Let us take her. And the grandma said, no, we don't take enemy with us. And Grace told her, she's a baby, she cannot be enemy. And the grandma said, no, come. And they went. But few meters later, Grace said no, she came back. She disobeyed to her grandma. She came back, she took the baby, and she took a piece of clothes that the mother was having, and she put the baby on her back. And she took, I cry for the story, and she took her with her up to Congo. And she stayed in the camps with the baby. And she has to give her names. So she called her Vanessa, but she found that Vanessa is beautiful. A beautiful forename. And then she named her, we have always Mujawayo, Esther, you have to have also a Rwandan name. And then she called her Uwase. Uwase means the daughter of the father. And I asked her why, and she said, you see, Vanessa is very dark, and the mother was very, very pale. So she thought, then she must have the color of her father. So this is why I call her Uwase. So and she went in the camps with the baby, And later on, when the camps were destroyed, they come back with the grandma and with the baby. So she was, Grace was not, she was just selling vegetables in the market, and this is how she was making a living for her grandma and her daughter, and she was really buying her second-hand shoes and clothes and really like dolly for her, like her baby. But then when comes the time of the schooling, the secondary school, it was too expensive and she couldn't make it. This is when she came to us, to Avega. So they told her, why don't you go to those widows association, to the survivors association, so that they can... And this is how we came to know Grace and Vanessa, and we take care of her, of school, of therapy and everything. But such nice stories, like 14 years old disobeying to the grandma and saying, no, she cannot be an enemy, I take her. I think it is really important. And they are being known now and told now to encourage the young people. You see, you can say no, or you can do something that the parents don't want you to do. Then from a small level, from individual, personal level, it can grow and be more a group. And I think this is what your Stiftung is doing. Yeah. It is possible. This is my optimistic day. And my pessimistic day is no less Salou. There are too many. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Maybe just as a last question, maybe you can tell us how we can support you in your work and Avega and what Avega is doing today as well. How can each and everyone...
We need a lot of money. Already here we are always... when I see the job we are doing here and what it costs to find the funding, but the funding is a problem everywhere. So when we have to write a project, and the project, when it is finished, we have to write another one. We are doing the same, but they ask us to name it again and change and find something because this one is specific in that. So I don't know what are the possibilities of your association, but already to say it is so important. For the moment, we are all also so frustrated in our job here in PSZ, because now suddenly, which is great, the solidarity with Ukraine is so big. But if you are inside and you realize the injustice they are making for the other ones, so when they decide this Unterkunft, this home, is going to be for Ukraine, they take the other out. And the children were going, for example, to school in the neighborhood. But they say, sorry, this is for Ukraine, you go. And you have to start again. And there are so many... And actually, yesterday we were having a meeting saying we really have to take care of ourselves, that we don't turn anti-Ukraine Flüchtlinge. Because what they are getting, they travel free of charge in the bus and trains. The other refugees here, if they catch you without a valid ticket, it is put on your file. And this is all those Strafen. In the end, they make that Ausland can say, no, I give you or I don't give you the permission to work. Talking of permission to work, they have immediately the permission to work. It is already written on the Fiktionsbescheinigung. For the others we work daily with, we are fighting for... I have a young client who he told me, Esther, there's something wrong. What? I'm going to work even if they say I cannot work. And they tell him, if they catch you, you will be in trouble. And he told me, how can you tell me I'm young and I don't have the right to work and feed myself? I don't need to be fed. I don't need to get money when I can do myself. And why don't you let him work? But for the Ukraine, immediately they can work. They can go to school. They can learn the language. For the others, you cannot... okay, there's nobody paying for your German course, but you have to speak German because you are in German. How are you going to do it? So I think for the moment, this is really for a lot on our why don't you give... I don't wish they put the Ukraine down, but I want to pull the others at the level of what they are doing for Ukraine, or at least the half of it. Yeah. No, I think if you have, I don't know how powerful you are to pass messages, but it is another way of resisting. Pass the message, pass the information, because when people are informed, they are stronger than when they are not informed, and the correct information, by the way. And for the moment, we try to tell the Geflüchtete students, the foreigner students who were in Ukraine, they don't have the same right as the Ukrainians themselves. They have up to 23 of May, for example. Now they are okay until 23. They have the permission to work, they can go to school and everything, but 23 May, they have to and with that, they have already got something solid which allows them to stay here, but if not, they have to go home. So if you want to continue to study, you have to get registration now. If not, you have to go back home to Congo or Rwanda or whatever, and get a visa studium, which we will never get, or very difficult to get. So why to give such short term to them? And for the other from Ukraine, it is for 3 years now. They have for 3 years this permission to stay, permission to study, permission to work, which is great, because they are in distress. But what about the others? The distress doesn't, you don't measure it because of the color, because of whatever, because of... and the Ukrainians themselves, this is also, I start to realize that they are the danger, the euphoria of now, and they are taking them in families, and I start to hear abuses in family, how they are treating people, how they are saying... one told me that the family where she was staying, they said, "Hey, why do you dress like that? You want to take my husband?" She ran away from the family because her skirt was too short, and the stigma that the Ukrainians are full in the border here in Germany, so this is why they are going to be exploited. They are going to be used. This is my pessimistic day, but it is realistic. Yeah.
Well, it's true, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. So, and for Avega, we are always looking for funds. There is a big issue with funding. Like, if we make a project for this and this, we can, with difficulties, or here also we can get funding. But to have an emergency fund, to have a social fund, this is what I try to do for Avega. When I have the chances and I can make fundraising and whatever, there is one fund which is not earmarked, which is there for the social worker to decide. If somebody needs for food or for transport or for medicine or for whatever, then they have the flexibility to do it. And this is something that any Geldgeber, they don't give this one. Unless today I will be rich and I will put my money and I put it and without asking anybody.
Spread the message.
Yeah. Okay.